Engines roar, the night ignites, rubber burns under neon lights, chrome shining, stars align, dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow, pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke, lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Track's a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Track's a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room. Engines roar, the night ignites, rubber burns under neon lights, chrome shining, stars align, dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening for the Premium Stock Car Racing League as drivers are ready to duke it out. They're ready to go to battle here this evening from the always beautiful Lucas Oil Raceway for what is going to be another absolutely amazing show, another absolutely amazing night of racing action. We got 200 laps on the docket for all these drivers to try to put themselves up and into victory lane. And starting on the pole in the 6th ride, it is Brian Underwood who will start in the top spot. The back-to-back champ getting ready to start from that pole position as Ben Gleason in the 66 there to his outside. Starting in the inside of row at number 2 in the 79 ride, that is Danny White to his outside in the 41. That is Devins Baker. Devins Baker there in position at number 4. Starting in position number 5 in the Prince's Towing. Number 2, it is Landon Burbage. To his outside in the number, I do believe it is going to be the number 13. No, it is the 5 ride. It is that beautiful SpongeBob paint scheme, the Lonnie Crider Rubbered Up Productions machine. That is Josh Crider who will start in position number 6. Melvin Brengruer actually looks like he'll move up into that 6th position, so Melvin will start there in 7th. It's Jordan Crider in position number 7 with the 5 of Josh Crider, so the Criders there in row number 4. Gregory Wood Sr. in position number 9. To his outside will be the 98 ride. That is Gregory Tumblestun, hopefully I'm getting that right, Tumblestun will start in position number 10. Jonathan Gaston and the Gastons iRacing Graphics number 72 will start there in 11th, with Ryan Haller to his outside in the 77 ride. Wyatt Mickelson, Austin Farnham, Alan Martin, Corey Denson. Then we see Farrell Robbins, Nathan Brookover, Scott Heinriches, and Kyle Shepard bringing up the rear of the field. New paint schemes here for all of the SSR rides here now. Okay, so the SSR rides here this evening. So it looks like they've got a new team, a new crew, and they are ready to rock and roll here this evening for this beautiful show. As down out of corner number 4 and through the Geico restart zone, we will see the green flag fly as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing. My boy Justin Toll coming in showing the love. Says, what's up, dude? What's up, Justin? How are you, Mr. Toll? Showing the love here in this one. Says, dude, this song is awesome. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate the love here this evening. Coming in showing the love here is out in front, leading lap number 1. It is the number 6 ride of Brian Underwood. So Underwood leads the way here this evening, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay as he wants to be that, he wants to be that reflection of perfection here this evening. As Jimmy 6 times, our boy Mr. Crider in the chat says, it's a new day in PSCRL. Says, thank you, Peacemaker. We appreciate you and appreciate all these amazing drivers for coming in and putting on a show for us again here tonight. Mrs. Holler says, thanks, Peacemaker. We appreciate you, Mrs. Holler, coming in. Show the love. We love the golf flag there as well. The golf content, man, we were lacking on it this season. Next season, though, man, we got a lot of great ideas, and we really want to push some crazy cool golf content here in the future. So make sure you guys hang on for that. We're going to be a lot of fun. Going to be some really cool challenges and fun things that we're going to be doing here with a couple good groups of guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Anna also says it's going to be a good night. Yes, Anna, it is going to be an absolutely amazing night of racing action here this evening as Underwood continues to lead the way. It's Ben Gleason doing a fantastic job in position number 2, the 66 ride. Looking hooked up here today. Qualifying there in second. Just ran the quickest lap of this race for that 66 ride. So he's feeling pretty dang good right now. And it's going to be interesting. It'd be cool to see Mr. Gleason not only make another trip up here into the broadcast booth, but maybe trying to win this race. I believe would be his first win in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Would be a big one here this evening as Danny White in position number 3. Landon Burbage back there in position number 4. Early on, up a spot. Here is Melvin Brangroer. Rolls there in position number 5. A little bit of a gap, almost a second back to our 6th place driver as Josh Crider works himself into that 6th position. Unfortunately for the 41 ride, Devins Baker slides back and now loses control. Look out, there goes the 41 around. Caution flag on the racetrack. Caution flag is the GGRTL1. Number 41 goes for a bit of a slide down here on the back straightaway. Let's take another look at it. Let's see what happens and break it down as Devins just trying to have a solid run, solid day. Unfortunately, had already slid back about 3 positions at this point. Was obviously struggling early on with the handle of this 41 ride. Just trying to get his feet wet here this evening. I do believe his first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. And right here at a corner number 2, just gets a little bit loose. Gets loose, the TikTok ride loses the grip all of a sudden, just trying to hang on to it. Snap hooks back around, goes for a quick little loop-de-loop, and that's what will put us under the yellow flag. Good heads-up driving here as you do see Farnham get a piece of the outside fence there, trying to make sure that he's up and out of the way. Does not want to drive or T-bone the side of that 71. Close call there for the 72 ride as well as the 41 gets pointed back in the right direction. Everyone else able to avoid him. Everyone else able to keep their cars out of trouble here and continuing to roll. So not a lot of damage, not a lot of contact there as we do see the 41 make his way down the beautiful IRP front straightaway to head down pit lane. The crew will go to work. He'll roll back out onto the racetrack as Brian Underwood will have to get ready here for a restart now. So he was able to get a great jump and take that early lead, but now he's got to do a little extra work here trying to make sure that he keeps himself just rolling in the right direction. Does not want to put himself into a tough spot here, putting himself into the wrong lane, making a bad shift or anything else that could really open up the door for that 66 ride ride of Ben Gleason that tried to get around him, as it seems like the outside lane here definitely is the preferred line. That middle to outside groove really seems to be where drivers are finding the most speed, the most momentum, and the most courage out there on the racetrack. Down low, you run that yellow line, it gets a little too tight. You really got to check up, and you lose so much speed and momentum rolling the inside groove that it's just not the fastest way around. So you're going to see a lot of drivers going for that outside lane, trying to work their way up there as quickly as possible. As already looks like Brian Underwood rolling up there. He's ready for the choose here, and he is going to choose to use the outside lane here for the restart. As there goes the lights on our official iRacing pace truck. So it looks like Underwood will elect the outside lane, putting Ben Gleason down to the inside. Now that's a very, very tough spot to kind of get fired off here. It's a tough position to try to get rolling down low. So we'll have to wait and see what Ben is able to do here today as we get them all ready to rumble, ready to go back to green flag racing. As Justin says, yay race cars, brother. You got it right, my boy. Whether it's turtle racing, or NASCAR racing, or dirt track racing, brother, racing is racing, and it's always a good time here on Peacemaker Gaming. As here we go back to the Geico Research Zone here at IRP, and here we go. A great launch right there for the sixth ride. Exactly what Underwood needed, as he's able to quickly clear that 66. Free rein down through quarter 1 and 2. Has no pressure right directly to his back bumper as they're door-to-door for position number 2. It looks like the outside lane going to pay dividends there for the Prince's towing number 2, as Landon Burbage will jump up an additional spot there and move himself into that second spot on the speedway. So from 4th to 2nd for the 2 ride, Landon Burbage on his way towards the front of the field, going to try to close that gap on the 6 machine of Underwood, trying to work his way to the front of the field as Ben Gleason slides back to 3rd. We'll see if he can battle his way back up there, maybe try to get back around that 2 ride of Landon Burbage. The 79 of Danny White rolls there in position number 4, with Melvin Brangwer back there in 5th. Josh Crider hangs on to 6th. Jordan Crider having himself a great day here this evening as the Pony Express rolls there in position at number 7. Gregory Wood Sr. trying to work his way down low underneath of Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson trying to roll that outside lane, hoping that he can gain at least another spot out there on the racetrack. Couldn't quite stay there, but it does look like he will get a chance to try to work to the outside of that 13 once again. You do see his teammate Ryan Haller right there behind him. Haller trying to work his way up and through the top 10 after gaining a couple spots early in this race. Here comes Gregory Tumblestun there as well. Tumblestun in that Boeing 98 ride rolls there in 11th. Jonathan Gaston back in 12th. Kyle Shepard up 7 spots here early on in this race, and Shepard rolls in that 13th position. Nathan Brookover there in 14th. Then we see Corey Denton in his beautiful 10 ride rolls there in position number 15. Scott Heinrich is his teammate right there behind him in 16th. There you see that 41 of Devins Baker. Then we see Austin Farnham, Farrell Robbins, and Alan Martin bringing up the rear of the field here. 20 drivers putting on a show for us here today as Underwood leads this race. Brian Underwood out in front, trying to keep all these drivers back at bay, trying to keep them back there behind him as he's looking to try to win not only this race, but trying to win some stages here as well. Stage break at lap number 50, and another stage break as well at lap number 100 here this evening. So a couple opportunities for drivers to gain some extra points here this evening. It sure says, I hope a great night. Go Haller and Mickelson. Anna says, come on, Landon, and says, shout out my husband, Brian. It's his birthday. What? Brian? Alessandro, happy mother fluffing birthday, Brian. Brian, only 40 years young as well for Brian, man. Such a young pup still in this world. Happy birthday there to Brian, man. Hopefully you have yourself a wonderful day. It's my birthday too, Anna. Happy birthday to your husband. Wait, Mrs. Haller, it's your happy birthday as well. What in the world? We got 2 birthdays in the Peacemaker family on the same night. That is absolutely amazing. Happy birthday, sure. Happy birthday, Brian, man. Here from myself here at Peacemaker Gaming. I hope you guys had yourselves a wonderful birthday, a wonderful Saturday, and I hope tonight is nothing but the best for both of you, so that way you guys can really enjoy some great racing, some great action, man. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys jump into the comment section right now and wish Mrs. Scherhaller and Brian Alessandro a happy mother fluffin' birthday right now, chat. Right now, jump in there and wish them a happy birthday, man. That is absolutely amazing. He said, thank you, Brian. You are more than welcome, brother. You are more than welcome, Brian. As Mr. Brian Underwood, another Brian out there on the racetrack, has this race lead, as Scherhaller says thanks and thanks. We got you, sure. We got you, Mrs. Holler. As Rodney, what's good, Mr. Stewart? Rod, fella coming in, show the love. Uncle Rod in the chat says happy birthday, Brian and Scherhaller. Absolutely, we can't thank you enough, Mr. Ronnie Stewart, showing the love here in this one. Ronnie, how are you, mister? I know you've been jumping in every time I seem to get to your comments. I don't know if you're still in the chat watching or not, but I do see you hopping in. You're always saying sorry for being absent from some of the broadcasts, brother. It's absolutely no problem, man. We're just happy to see you in there when we get to see you in there, whether it's once a week or 5 times a week, whatever it is, man. We're just happy to have you here in the chat as well, man. Always so fun to have Ronnie in here and all of you amazing people in the grandstands and cheering these drivers on, as Underwood continues to lead this race, a 1.3 second lead now between himself and Landon Burbage, as Burbage rolls there in position number 2, as Sherha says it's birthday weekend on Peacemaker. Apparently it's birthday weekend here. Now I gotta wonder whose birthday is it tomorrow. Who turns another age tomorrow, chat? That's the big question. We got 2 broadcasts tomorrow to be able to celebrate birthdays here tomorrow, so that's definitely what's gonna be going down. As Jacob Burbage says, Anna Bryan getting some top tonight. Oh baby, oh no, oh that could be Wait, isn't Brian and Anna grandparents to Landon Burbage? So Jacob, is that make Brian and Anna your grandparents as well? What in the world? You're gonna say something out of pocket like that? What in the world? I mean, hopefully for Brian, hopefully, but I mean, wow, what a comment there from a relative. That is absolutely insane right there. As Rodney says, always a joy, Peacemaker, always a joy to have you in the chat, Rod fella. As here we go, Landon Burbage trying to hold off Ben Gleason as they continue to battle here for that second position. It's allowing Brian Underwood to continue to try to stretch out his race lead. Melvin Branger right into the battle as well, as it is not a fantasy, it is a Fanta car that you see here in position number 4, as the 4 machine working his way here into that top 5 right now. As Anna says, Jacob, I'm kicking your butt, laugh my ass off. Anna, you better after a comment like that, you better kick his butt 100%. Is Mr. Crider in the 5 ride rolls there in that 5th position. Danny White in position number 6 is Wyatt Mickelson back in 7th, slowly but surely working his way up towards the front of the field. That 13 rider, Gregory Woods Sr., right there behind him. The 13 machine rolls there in the 8th position. Ryan Haller back there in 9th. Jordan Crider still rounding out our top 10 here, as Anna says, that's my ex-husband's son, Jacob. Okay, your ex-husband's son, Jacob. Okay, interesting. Okay, getting all the family drama here tonight, chat. Getting all the family drama here tonight. So, your ex-husband's son. So, that's like your ex-son, your ex-son-in-law, something like that. Ex-son, something like that. That's a wild comment, though. That's a wild comment, though, Jacob. 100% wild comment there, dear. What used to be stepmom or whatever it may be, but we do see Jonathan Gaston rolling there in 11th. Kyle Shepard back there in 12th. Scott Heinrich is in 13th with Corey Denson in that 14th position. So we see, I do believe, 3 of these SSR rides now rolling in that 12th, 13th, and 14th position. Their other teammate a little farther back with Austin Farnham there in position number 18. Broke over there, bringing up what would be the rear of the field, but it looks like Gregory Tumblestun unfortunately has left the building here. I'm not sure what has happened to the 20 ride. Looks like he has lost connection to the server. He has only run about 20 and a half laps before that car had disappeared off the racetrack and is not rolled back out there. So for that 98 8-ride tough start here to his premium stock car racing league. He says that's Landon's uncle. It's Landon's uncle. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. That is a crazy one. Landon's father told me to say it, so okay. Landon's father told you to say it. I like it. Jacob is too funny. He is too funny. That's a good comment right there. And hey, you know what? I'm not gonna say no to that one, man. If that's what Brian can pull in on his birthday, brother, all the power to him. Happy mother fluffing birthday right there. As we see the caution flag out the 33 ride, the Pony Express goes for a spill down the back straightaway, and we will see our second caution flag of the day. So the premium stock car racing league's Pony Express 33 goes for a ride here at a corner number 2. Let's take a look, see if he had a little help here, as he does have the number 72 right there to his inside, but it looks like potentially another driver out at corner number 2 just going to... Oh, no, he definitely gets a little help right there. 72 of Gaston gets into him right here. Oh, man, looked like it was potentially just going to be another loose car like we saw earlier on with the... I do believe it was the 41 of Devon's Banker who got loose and went around here out of corner number 2, but this time there's some help there as the G-Man gets a piece of him, spins that 33 right around. Unfortunately for the 33, he's going to lose a lot of track position. Luckily enough, though, not a lot of contact, not a lot of damage, able to avoid running into that concrete inside barrier. And you do see the 72 ride already checked up, already onto the binders there, knowing that he had made that mistake, that he had caused that caution flag. He's electing to probably take an EOL here and go to the back of the pack there for causing that caution flag. Xana says, we have a great relationship. I love that. Hey, good relationships, healthy relationships, that's what it's all about. Whether or not there's some drama or anything else in the family, to still get together, still have a good time, still be able to shoot the shit and everything else. That's what we're all about right there, and just having fun, having a good time, and not being stooges or anything else. That's what we want to see. As here we go down across the line, lap 37 is now clicked off the board here. So these guys are clicking the laps off in a quick hurry. Even now with our second caution flag, we are zooming through this first stage, and the first stage going to come to a close here in about 13 laps from now. We still got a couple laps under the yellow, so that should bring us to the green flag right around 11 laps or so left to go in the stage, which should really make things that much more interesting here this evening, knowing that there's some bonus points about to be handed out. Some drivers going to be trying to move themselves forward. Other drivers are going to be trying to hang on, trying to hope to get a solid, top 3, top 5 run here to finish off this stage, and then try their luck in stage number 2, as you don't want to make a mistake, get ran over, get put out of line, or have an issue where all of a sudden you slide back 3 or 4 positions, you give up 3 or 4 points here into your back pocket. So you're just going to be trying to hold pace here. If you're the 2 rider, Landon Burbage, Ben Gleason, you're going to try to go for that race win, but you don't want to give up too much, and it's got to be all about that risk versus reward, as Ryan Underwood will get ready to start here once again from the top spot. He is going to roll that outside lane, look to try to hold off Landon Burbage. Now for Burbage, last time here we saw the 66 start there in position number 2 on the inside row. Unfortunately did not get a good restart. We saw the 2 ride use that to his advantage, went from 4th to 2nd. Gleason was never able to get that spot back, so we'll have to wait and see if that outside lane is going to pay that much of a dividends here. As here we go, back to green flag racing as that number 6 machine, another great restart, and quickly you do see Landon Burbage able to find a hole, slides up in front of that Fanta number 19 of Melvin Branguer. Branguer does jump into 3rd. Here's Ben Gleason, slides back into position number 4, but there's the 51 making contact with the outside fences. Wyatt Mickelson trying to work his way around the outside of the 5 ride of Josh Crider. Crider trying to hold on to position number 5. Mickelson trying to take it away from him here, knowing that there's an extra point on the line if he can move up in front of that 5 ride. Unfortunately, could not get the run that he was looking for there out of corner number 2. So he works down to the middle here, is out in front. It's still Brian Underwood. Underwood with a great lead here above Landon Burbage. Burbage rolls there still in second. He's going to have to try to find something here late in this first stage if he wants to try to jump up and steal the stage win away from that number 6 run. As we see Melvin Brengru in the 66. They're fighting here for position number 3 on the Speedway. Crider still trying to hold on to position number 5. It looks like he's probably going to be able to keep that spot as now Danny White trying to steal position number 5 here, or 6 away from Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson looks like he may lose that 6th position, slide back to 7th. We do see Devins Baker able to work his way back inside the top 10. He's worked his way back around Ryan Haller. Haller slides back into that 10th position. He does have the 33 of Jordan Crider right there as well. So for the 77 ride, you got to be very, very careful knowing that you're in that final position to earn some bonus points here today. You want to make sure you stay there in that 10th spot on the racetrack, because now we do see another driver running into some issues here. I'm not sure who disappeared out of the top 10, but somebody did. And now it works. Haller up to 9th. Jordan Crider back into position number 10 now on the Speedway, is out in front. Brian Underwood looking very, very strong here again this evening, as we do see Gregory Wood Sr. I do believe that's the driver that fell out of the top 10 here, and Gregory with some pretty heavy left front damage here. See if we can maybe play this back. When do we see an issue here for Gregory Woods Sr.? I feel like it was somewhere right around here. So let's take a look at Gregory Woods Sr. battling, trying to get underneath the 51, loses the rear end, goes around here on the front straightaway, heavy contact into that inside fence, and that's what moves the 13 from a top 10 run here this evening to now all of a sudden down pit road and going at least a lap, maybe even 2 laps down here today, as Brian Underwood continues to stretch out that race lead once again, about 0.6 of a second between himself and Landon Burbage. We do see Ben Gleason able to work his way up and into position number 3 is Crider. Now into 4th, Danny White there in 5th. Wyatt Mickelson trying to stay in position number 6 here, trying to keep Melvin Brengru back there at base. Melvin unfortunately slipped back here a few spots in this final run to the end of stage number 1. The 41 ride of Devins Baker continues to work his way up towards the top 5 once again, looking for a big run here on that 19 ride. Ryan Haller back there in 9th. Jordan Crider still rounding out our top 10, but for this number 6 machine, a couple laps left to go here before the end of stage number 1 here this evening, as this stage quickly coming to a close. The 6th ride, he's been out in front. He's led every single lap after qualifying in that pole position. Brian Underwood has been that reflection of perfection here this evening, as that 6th ride rolls down through corner number 3 and 4, back down across the line. One more lap till we finish stage number 1 here in tonight's feature event. So stage number 1 coming to a quick close here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers trying to put themselves up and into victory lane here today, and it doesn't come with, stage win. You can lose both stages. You can finish outside the top 10 in both the stages. But if you can find that run late in the race, if you can figure out this racetrack, figure out your race car, you can put yourself up and into the winner's circle here this evening, as Brian Underwood does pick up the stage win. Landon Burbage there in 2nd. Gleason back in 3rd. Josh Crider, Danny White are top 5, all earning stage points here this evening, with Wyatt Mickelson, Melvin Brengru, Devins Baker, Ryan Haller, and Jordan Crider rounding out our top 10 here this evening. All earning stage points here. Jordan Crider getting 1 stage point. Brian Underwood getting 10 stage points for the regular season championship. Plus for the 6th ride, that will add 1 bonus point to his points here when we start our playoffs. So for the 6th ride, having those bonus points, we talk to him every year, and those bonus points really help drive you through each and every round, trying to work yourself into that championship hunt. And for the last 2 seasons, no one's done it better than that 6th ride, as Brian Underwood has won both championships the last 2 years. So the last 2 seasons, he has been the back-to-back champion. So for Mr. Underwood, he's looking to try to pick up a big win here today, hoping that he can put himself into victory lane. As you see the 66 right there behind him. Oh, that's a big break right there. We were looking at it. I thought potentially the 66 was a little too far forward in his box, and that's exactly what happened. That is going to cost Ben Gleason a ton of track position out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately for that 66, He comes out of the pits here roughly around the 15th position. So he lost 12 spots down pit road with that mistake. I thought for a second that you'd throw it in to reverse quickly, sliding through his pit stall like that. Unfortunately, was not able to back it down quick enough. And for the 66, he ends up losing a ton of positions out there on the racetrack, as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. And it looks like some strategy calls here. We saw a bunch of drivers come down pit road there on our last caution flag on lap 36. And now we kind of get things flipping flopping here, as now we do see the SSR team here at the front of the field. So the SSR drivers leading the way here. Kyle Shepard out in front. Shepard leading the rest of the field, but also his teammates here, as it is the Southern States Racing team here. Okay, so we like that. The Southern States Racing team out there on the speedway as they all get ready to rock and roll. You see the 3 other cars right behind them, virtually the exact same looking race cars out there on the racetrack as the 115 of Kyle Shepard, Scott Heinrichs, Austin Farnham, and now Corey Denson. Our top 4 here on the racetrack. Brian Underwood, for the first time here this evening, will not start from the pole position here. He will not have the top spot any longer. In the 6th right of Underwood, back in position number 5. We'll see if he can work his way through the traffic. Landon Burbage there in 6th. Then we see Crider in 7th. Danny White there in 8th. The 55 of Alan Martin in 9th. And Devins Banker there in position number 10. And then we see Melvin Brengruer, Wyatt Mickelson, Jordan Crider, Ryan Haller, Ben Gleason, Nathan Brookover, Farrell Robbins, Jonathan Gaston, Gregory Wood Sr., and Gregory Tumbleston back out there on the racetrack as well. Unfortunately for both Gregory's, not the night that they were hoping for. Multiple laps down, as here we go back to Green Flag Racing. We do see one driver, is Corey Denson, up into the outside fence, down into corner number 1. He's going to lose a ton of positions for that 10 ride. Finally finds a hole, gets kind of rolling here, settles in about the 8th position, but we already see Brian Underwood around the 67 ride, so Underwood quickly back up into 3rd. Now he's going to work here. He's got Scott Heinrichs right there in front of him, and he's got a couple of these other drivers that he's looking to try to make some moves around, as the 119 Austin Farnham, Kyle Shepard right there, the 119, the 115 door-to-door here at the front of the field, and that's just going to allow Brian Underwood to try to reel them both in, and here he is around the outside, getting a great run right there, able to make quick work of Austin Farnham, so he moves around Farnham, now looking already to the outside of the 115 of Kyle Shepard. Shepard's trying to hold on to the race lead, but Brian Underwood trying to take it away, now looks down to the inside, can't quite get the run he was looking for. Underwood has to travel back up to the outside lane, looks to mount another challenge, another big run here, gets right to the back bumper of that 115, takes all that momentum and goes for the slide jump, can't quite pull the trigger right there. He's looking to clear him off of corner number 2, and he will get it done, just showing you the pure speed out of that 6th run, as Underwood able to work himself back to the front of the field. Only gave up the race lead there for a few laps, but now with the fresher tires and now with the track position, that number 6 ride hoping to try to open up a bit of a lead here, as Landon Burbage right there in tow. Here comes Josh Crider. He's working his way into position number 3, as the strategy game here this evening, not sure how well it's worked out here for the SSR team, as unfortunately they're starting to slide backwards. If they can wait until lap number 50, or if they can get a caution flag again, try this strategy, maybe it works out in the long run. Maybe they can try to get a little bit of off-sequence pit stops kind of rolling in that final stage, as we do see the caution flag come back out. We do see the 41 ride back around. I do believe the 67 going to end up with some damage there as well. So Scott Heinrichs, he gets collected. The 55 ride of Alan Martin also collected in this one. I do believe Nathan Brookover also going to get some contact. Let's take a look back at it. And here we go. 67 looking for a big run right here. That's Melvin Brengruer down to the inside. Looks like Brengruer just gets into him right there. And unfortunately, everyone just starts piling in here. And for the 67, has to lock things down. Ends up with some pretty solid contact here, as 19 bounces off of him. Knocks him loose right there. He's trying to catch it, trying to save it. Unfortunately, doesn't want to run back into the 19. Washes back up the track. Bounces off the 79. Then here comes Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson really nowhere to go right there. Runs into the back end of him, and then he shoots down the track, collects his 41 right. There's Devin Banker sliding sideways up and into corner number 1, and unfortunately, more damage in Ben Gleason. Our second place driver here to start the night gets collected here. Wyatt Mickelson with even more damage in it as the 41 gets clipped, washes back up the racetrack. Look at Gleason, look at the 51, look at all these drivers trying to avoid it. Looked like the 51 may have gotten checked up in time, but there was contact back behind him. So if you watch, see if we can get another angle at this one. If you watch, I do believe the 33 right here, he's going to be in the bottom middle of the screen. The 33 right here and the 27. They get tied together. They kind of shove the 55 into the 51, in turn shoves Wyatt Mickelson into the 66 of Gleason, which pushes him into the 41 right even quicker than he was anticipating, or potentially may have been able to get checked up. And unfortunately now heavy damage for the 41, heavy damage for Wyatt Mickelson. A lot of damage there for the 33, 27, the 55 ride, this 66 ride of Ben Gleason, a ton of damage on him as there's the contact, there's the 51 getting into the back end of the 66, and man, just pretty big hits for all the drivers collected there in that one. The big one here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park here this evening. So we did see Mickelson come down pit road, had to use a quick repair. We saw obviously Alan Martin getting some damage repaired, Devin Banker and Scott Heinrichs all getting repairs here, as Scott Heinrichs will fall back behind everybody. I do believe he will be scored a lap down here as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We'll get ready to set him back loose here once again, and here we go. You see that 6 right of Brian Underwood, and once again going to elect to use the outside lane here to his advantage. Landon Burbage there in second, Crider back there in third, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to battle here in this one. See if we can get a look here at Landon and that number 6 rider, Brian Underwood. Here is Underwood and Landon both getting ready to duke it out here. Our top 2 drivers on the evening. There you get a great look. Landon Burbage, Brian Underwood, 1 and 2 on the speedway. They're there in the webcams here as well, and we'll get to see kind of what they're going through, what they're doing, and how they're able to wheel these cars. There you go, big jump right there for the 6 right, catching everybody pretty much off guard and a little bit sleepy right there. So all of a sudden he opens up another good lead here. Landon Burbage able to stay in second. He's able to find a hole, gets back up in front of the 119 ride of Austin Farnham. Farnham right there looking to try to keep these guys back there at bay. Is man, some great racing here, man. This has been a hell of a show, a hell of a race by each and every one of these drivers, putting together a absolutely amazing performance as Underwood continue to just try to hold off this 2 ride and keep all these drivers back there at bay, knowing that this is definitely, so far, looks like it could be a huge night for him on trying to win this race. And being able to win a race and lock yourself into the playoffs, definitely something the 6th ride wants to do here. And if he can get this win early and out of the way on the season, it definitely opens up the door for him to take more chances, more opportunities here to either win stages or to try to win races here throughout the rest of the regular season until our playoffs get underway. And that's the main thing, trying to win races, trying to put yourself into a situation where you can earn those bonus points and try to help yourself out through each and every single round of our playoffs is exactly what that 6th ride is looking for, as he starts to once again open up a bit of that lead, trying to pull away here a little bit more from Landon Burbage as they're all back there in tow, trying to hunt him down. There's Burbage rolling in second, now about 0.6 of a second off the back bumper of Underwood. Austin Farnham doing a great job hanging on to third here, able to get a great restart, able to get that Gasson's iRacing graphics, and since our machine up and into that 3rd spot, moving Crider back into position number 4. Danny White rolls there in 5th with Melvin Brenger back up into 6th. Ryan Haller rolls there in 7th with Jordan Crider, Farrell Robbins, Jonathan Gaston, our top 10 here in this one. Ben Gleason, after getting that car repaired, trying to work his way back up and through the field here. The 66 rolls there in the 11th position, just on the outside of the top 10 looking in. The 10 of Corey Denson there in 12th, Kyle Shepard back in 13th. And then we see Wyatt Mickelson trying to rebound from that contact and damage. So the 51 Ryan going to try to work his way up and through the field here. Alan Martin there in 15th. Gregory Wood Sr. back on the lead lap here for the 13 Ryan. So he's back into the action. Nathan Brookover and Devins Baker, obviously still with some pretty solid damage on this 41 Ryan, struggling a little bit right now. He is still on the lead lap. He's the last car on the lead lap, but he's losing a lot of time here in a quick hurry. Our race leaders are less than a half a track away from potentially putting him a lap down out there on the racetrack, and still with about, I'm going to say this time around the start-finish line, it's going to be about 27 laps before we see the end of stage number 2. So he's going to have to really try to work hard and try to keep these guys back there at bay to keep himself on the lead lap. Scott Heinrich is right now, he's the first car a lap down out on the racetrack. He's currently scored as being only 1 lap down, so another quick caution flag could get him back on the lead lap for Gregory Tumbleston. Unfortunately, he ended up losing connection to this race. He was able to rejoin for the Boeing ride. He's able to get back into the battle, but look out, there's more contact. Couple drivers tied together on the bottom side of 3 and 4. I don't believe no caution flag here. Kyle Shepard was right in it. So Shepard and Mickelson battling here in a little contact as Wyatt gets into that left rear quarter panel, just nudges them. They both wash down the track. They both virtually almost come to a stop for the 115, trying to get this thing rolling here again. He's out through the grass, and unfortunately, as he was stopped and parked there kind of on the infield, iRacing does not count that as the racetrack. They do not throw the yellow flag. So unfortunately for the 115 of Kyle Shepard, he's now kind of in that same situation as that 41 ride, even farther back now. So Devins Baker able to work himself around that 115 ride, and Kyle Shepard now potentially going to be that first car to go a lap down here in a quick hurry, as Brian Underwood and company chasing these guys down, knowing how big it would be to try to put drivers like Shepard and Baker a lap down out on the racetrack. And now we do see some issues for Gregory Wood Sr. as Gregory Wood goes for another spill here. Let's take a look at it. Looks like he's up into the outside fence already, as he's got some pretty heavy front end damage here. Let's watch this 13 up and into the fence here again. Big contact for him. Let's play this farther back actually, because there may have been more issues there. Yes, there was. So here we go. 13 ride in the 27. And it looks like 27 kind of, oh my gosh, look at that thing, man. So the 27 already up and into the outside fence for Brookover, trying to catch that car, obviously losing a ton of speed and momentum. 13 ride does not get checked up quick enough, runs right into the back end of him, and it just absolutely shears that front end apart here and almost puts him upside down. Body panels, front bumper, back bumper flying around there on the back straightaway for the 13 ride. Heavy right front damage, cannot get this car to turn. Slams up into the outside fence, and then finally able to kind of get it rolled down the racetrack, and he'll take it off the speedway. So a heartbreaker there for that 13 ride once again. So he is down pit side and off the racetrack for the Gregorys here this evening. Has not been a good night for them. Obviously we see Gregory Wood Sr. down pit side for Gregory Tumbleston. He was down pit road there for multiple laps. He's about 23 laps down out there on the speedway for Gregory Wood Sr. By the time he rolls back out onto the racetrack, he may be kind of in that same boat. So for the Gregorys, both back in the 19th and 20th position, not a fun place to be in. Another not so fun place to be is this 115 of Kyle Shepard. Shepard does fall a lap down, as there's our race leaders moving around him. Obviously the 2 ride of Landon Burbage kind of getting hung up there a little bit. Could not get around the lap traffic quick enough to gain really any extra time on Brian Underwood, but Underwood still has another car to try to put a lap down. You do see the 41 will just jump down to the inside apron, allow Underwood, our race leader, to roll around him here, and that will move the 41 machine of Devin Baker also a lap down here in stage number 2. So a couple drivers now falling a lap down. That will move Scott Heinrich is out of the free position, and he's got to be very careful, because he may end up going 2 laps down here, and that is going to be a tough spot to get out of. Unfortunately, still has quite a bit of damage on this 67. Ryan is not running as fast as I think he would like, and it's starting to cause our race leader some issues here as he's trying to find a way around them. He's gotten up into the outside fence a couple times there, and it has allowed that to Landon Burbage. Close that door. He's closing that gap and reeling into our race leader in a quick hurry. You see Brookover move down and out of the way as well. That will move Brookover now into the free pass position. He will also fall a lap down out there on the racetrack. But for Brian Underwood trying to keep that 2 right of Landon Burbage back there at bay a lot longer of a green flag run here this evening. So after that big pileup, that big wreck around lap number 60, things have gotten a little bit more figured out, a little bit more straightened out. Now we're seeing a good long green flag run in that 2 right of Landon Burbage. Really starting to show some strength here. Starting to reel in this 6 run, but now with Underwood, has some of the lap traffic out of his way, has a little bit more of that fresh air under the nose of this 6 run. Can he hold him back there at bay and allow him enough time to virtually try to win this second stage as well and sweep both stages here today, as he's got about a half a second lead here between himself and Landon, but down and through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4, back down across the start-finish line. It will be 13 laps left to go here in stage number 2. So 13 laps left here in this second stage, which will put us right at our halfway marker here this evening. So for all these drivers, know that you'll be at that halfway point, that you're halfway in, halfway to go here throughout the evening. That is a big spot to be. That is a good spot to kind of judge what you have, what you need, and where you need to be to try to win this race. Obviously, if you're one of those drivers, it's a lap down, not the spot you want to be out there on the racetrack. But here we go. We do see the caution flag come back out. Oh, baby. Looks like maybe another big one right here. Let's take a look back at it. We do see the 67 ride right here. Scott Heinrich is unfortunately already a couple laps down. The 19 ride trying to get around him, and they get tied together. So Melvin Brangerer in that 67, they're tied together, and the 115 drives right into them. And there is Farrell Robbins. He's going to get a piece of that as well. So Farrell Robbins and Kyle Shepard also get tied up in this. So, man, couple big hits right there for Melvin Brangerer. He was one of our lead lap drivers. He was running up inside the top 5 here at the time of the caution flag, just trying to get around the lap traffic. And I don't know if Heinrich just didn't see him coming, didn't see him there, or what may have been going on here. But you're going to see, obviously, the damaged 67 just move up here and just kind of squeezes the 19 up into the outside fence. Nowhere else that he could go, and unfortunately 67 goes around off his nose. They get tied together into the outside fence, and that's some pretty solid contact there for Melvin Brangerer. Pretty good contact again for the 67. We'll watch this 115 trying to get checked up, trying to avoid it. Unfortunately could not stop in time. Heavy damage as he drives right into the back end of his SSR teammate. Heavy contact for both of them, and then all of a sudden here comes Farrell Robbins. Robbins going to come in here, just cannot get this thing checked up in time, and he is going to slide into it, and bam, right into that right front of the 15. Ryan Ward contact for the 19 of Brangerer, and unfortunately heavy contact for all 4 drivers collected. So that will bring us to the yellow flag and another late caution here before the stage break to really mix things up. We see a lot of drivers head down pit road, including this 41 of Devin Banker. Banker heads down pit side here. He was able, I do believe, to get the lucky dunk back on the lead lap. We did see a lot of drivers come down pit road, including Farrell Robbins trying to get his car repaired. We saw Brangerer down pit side. Jordan Crider, Wyatt Mickelson also came down pit road. Now, for some of these drivers like Mickelson, like Brangerer, they can try to flip the stage here. There'll be about 10 laps less on tire, 10 laps less on fuel, but potentially could really swing the turn of the tables here. We saw the SSR Ryan try to do that at the end of stage number 1. They came down pit road with about 13, 14 laps left to go in that stage. They were able to leapfrog everybody with not pitting there at the end of stage number 1. Had the race lead there for the restart. Unfortunately, things have not worked out too well for them since that point, or at least for 3 of them, and We'll see if these guys pull the same move here, if they try to run that same kind of strategy here at the end of stage number 2, and that could be a big break. We do see Devin Baker. Looks like he's going to try to come back down pit road. Still some pretty good rear end damage on that 41 ride, try to get it fixed up, and as he is down pit side, that's a dangerous spot to be because the 6 machine and the rest of these drivers are hoping to get ready to go back to green flag racing. Now, luckily enough, the lights are still off the official iRacing pace stroke. Now, the big thing is that you don't really have a whole lot of time. So the 41 just gets into his pit stall. Here comes the field down and out of corner number 4. So you don't really have a whole lot of time down pit road to try to get repairs. You probably get 10, maybe 15 seconds, and then you got to roll back out onto the racetrack to make sure you do not lose a lap. So it's a very tough spot to be out on the speedways. Mrs. Holler says, move it up, Ryan. Move it on up, as Holler trying to work his way closer to the front of the field. Anna says, go Landon. Cheered on Mr. Burbage here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit that like button on the stream, hit that share button, hit that follow or subscribe button. If you are watching over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today as we continue to keep on growing on every single channel, live every night on Facebook, Twitch, and on YouTube here for non-stop amazing racing action as we get them all ready to rumble here, ready to go back to green flag racing. As here we go, green flag back out into the air for the 6th ride of Brian Underwood. Underwood, another great restart, another great launch, able to take that race lead and keep Landon Burbage back there at bay. Danny White now trying to move up into position number 3 as Crider down to the inside. Crider trying to hold on to that 3rd spot. Unfortunately, with that bottom lane, just not getting the runs that he is hoping for, as here comes Austin Farnham. Here comes that 72 with Jonathan Gaston. Good to see Gaston up there inside the top 10 looking for some stage points. Ben Gleason battling back into 7th with Alan Martin, Corey Denson, and Ryan Holler rounding out our top 10 as we do see some more issues here potentially for a pair of the SSR rides here as stage number 1 is quickly coming to a close here. Stage number 1 quickly going to come to a close. There you go. You do see heavy damage and the caution flag back out. So the caution flag will fly here as it looked like Scott Heinrich's and that 115 teammates going to get tied together. Let's take a look at Kyle Shepard as Shepard down low trying to get a big run, and it looks like maybe he just gets loose and then makes contact with his teammate, which ends up shoving Scott Heinrich is right here up and into the outside fence. Big hit there for that 67 ride. Let's take a look at it right here. So there's the 115, gets loose, tries to save it, snap hooks up towards the outside fence, ends up bouncing and pushing his teammate right into the outside wall, and it shoots this 115 down the racetrack in hard contact into that inside fence. That is concrete, ladies and gentlemen. That is no safer barrier. That could be game over and night over here for that 115 of Kyle Shepard as him and his teammate come to a stop here on the back straightaway. That's what will bring out the caution flag, and I do believe that will end stage number 2 here this evening. We do see Jordan Crider going to stay outright here. Everyone else does come down pit road. Melvin Brenger actually going to earn the lucky dog back on the lead lap as Underwood, Gleason, Danny White, Baker, all these guys headed down pit road. You see Landon Burbage trying to leave first. Looks like he will get out first. So great pit stop there for Landon Burbage. Danny White will come out in position number 2. Devin Baker, Josh Crider, Austin Farnham. So it looks like a very bad pit stop right there for the 6th ride of Brian Underwood. Now Underwood's going to have to try to battle back through some traffic to try to race his way back up towards the front of the field here as stage number 2 going to come to a close here this evening as Jordan Crider stays out. The Pony Express, the 33 ride, now has the race lead. He was one of those drivers that pitted on lap number 90, so he's got a little less fuel, maybe a little less tire, but for the 33 ride, he does have the track position, and he does have the top spot to be able to have lane selection here on this restart. Could potentially try to keep himself out in front for a little while with the clean air. Could potentially try to hold Landon Burbage off. For Burbage, this is prime position for him to try to take advantage of the mistake of the 6th ride of Brian Underwood. With Underwood being back in 8th, it's going to be tough for Underwood to try to jump up here and battle back towards the front. It's going to maybe take him quite a little while. Could put him into a dangerous position as well, being kind of mid-pack now. Definitely could get tied up in more issues trying to battle back to the front. And so for Landon Burbage, having the track possession, still being up there at the front of the field, starting on the front row, he's looking very, very good here. As there we go. That time around the start-finish line, it does complete lap number 100. So we are just at the halfway point here, ladies and gentlemen. Halfway in, halfway to go. Still a lot of laps left here in this race as each and every one of these drivers get ready to see the green flag fly. Once again, they get ready to go back to battle here this evening, as I do believe they scored the 6th ride of Brian Underwood as the Stage 2 winner there as well. So for Mr. Underwood, at least now with a couple stage wins on the day, even if he does have a bad finish, at least that can make it a little bit better, knowing that he earns a couple bonus points for the playoffs and also helps him out here on the regular season standings. As here we go, back to green flag racing. Crider trying to hold off that 2 ride, but Landon Burbage down low has had a lot of speed all day long. He's looking to try to move in front of the Pony Express, trying to work himself around Jordan Crider. Crider there out at corner number 4, just could not keep his foot in the throttle. It allows the 2 ride of Landon Burbage to slide up in front of him. So we do get a new race leader as Landon Burbage takes the race lead and puts that 2 ride out in front. But here comes what I would say here in the series over the last, couple handful of races between last season and this season, his arch nemesis, the 5 ride. It's Josh Crider in position number 2. So Burbage, Crider 1 and 2 out there on the racetrack. Will we see some more fireworks here this evening between the pair as Josh Crider tries to hunt him down here on the racetrack? Danny White in position number 3 as he rolls down and around that 33 ride. Here comes Austin Farnham as well. Farnham in the SSR ride now. One of the only ones still kind of alive in racing here in this one and showing that he's got some good speed out of this 119 ride. Can Austin Farnham try to put one of these SSR rides up and into the top 3 here this evening? Maybe try to get SSR a podium here for their first race with the Premium Stock Car Racing League as he rolls there in that 4th position. His teammates started with 4 of them. We do see Corey Denson back in about that 13th position. Hasn't been quite his night. And then obviously we've seen the issues for the 67 of Scott Heinrichs and Kyle Shepard. Still parked down pit sign, still unfortunately out of this race with that damage. I do believe his night probably is going to be over, or at least his chances of winning or getting a solid finish are out the window here this evening for the 115 ride. But for Landon Burbage, it is wide open here for this number 2 machine. If he can try to pull away, if he can try to build a little bit of a lead and cushion here between himself and Crider, obviously with Brian Underwood, the bad pit stop, he's kind of stuck back here. He's still battling in traffic, and as he battles back here, it's burning up his equipment. He's using those tires up. He's burning through his stuff here, which could in turn make him even slower towards the end of the run as well, where he may not have time or the car to try to hunt down that 2 ride of Landon Burbage. But now comes into the question, when do these guys have to make a green flag pit stop? How far can they stretch it? We really haven't seen too many super long green flag runs, but in this final stage, it's 100 laps. There's no stage breaks. There's no nothing. We could run from this point down to our checkered flag here this evening. So for that 6th ride of Brian Underwood, what do you got in the tank here? What do you got to try to battle back towards the front to fight for this race win? And do you have enough time to even do it? And when it comes to these green flag pit stops, this is a tough racetrack. This is a tough pit stop to be able to make during the green flag. So for all these drivers, you got to be very, very cautious about that. You got to have that in the back of your mind and hope that we could potentially see maybe a caution flag around lap 150 and kind of eliminate the entire question mark of having to make green flag pit stops here today, as we'll get them all rolling. Everyone's looking to try to keep on racing towards the front. We did see Bran Brewer able to get that lucky dog, but now back up into the outside fence right there, scored that 14th position. Last driver on the lead lap here this evening is Farrell Robbins. First car 1 lap down, scored back in that 15th position. I do believe, yeah, he's only 1 lap down, so that's not too bad of a spot there for the number 76, Ryan, only being 1 lap down, could hopefully try to get another caution flag. A lucky dog back on the lead lap, unfortunately, for Scott Heinrichs. For Heinrichs, he is multiple laps down, and unfortunately for the 67, Ryan, we would need probably about 4 or 5, maybe 6 caution flags for him to get back into the lead lap. Same with Nathan Brookover, who has now taken his car, I do believe, back down behind pit wall. So a tough break there for Brookover. Looks like his night may be done for Gregory Wood Sr. He has rejoined the field. He is rolling again here this evening. Has just actually passed Kyle Shepard for position number 18 on the speedway, moving Shepard back into 19th, still parked down pit side, and only about a 4 or 5 laps away from potentially getting passed by the 98 rider as well of Gregory Tumblestone. And Tumblestone definitely not wanting to start his first race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, with coming home in position number 20 out there on the racetrack. I know he would love to try to jump up here, at least gain that 1 extra spot, keep him out of that final spot here on the racetrack. But we do see Kyle Shepard still down pit road. Can he get out before the 98 ride passes him and potentially moves him into that last place finish here this evening, as Landon Burbage out in front continues to open up this race lead. It is now about 0.8 of a second, 0.9 of a second here between himself and Josh Crider. So he is starting to open up a bit of a lead. Austin Farnham trying to work his way around Danny White, and now trying to also poke his nose under that 5 ride of Crider. So they're battling hard here for position number 2, 3, and 4. And right behind them, you do see this 6 ride. Brian Underwood's worked his way into that 5th position. So back inside the top 5 here for the 6 ride. And he is reeling into our 4th, 3rd, and 2nd place drivers here in a quick hurry for Landon Burbage. He definitely does not want to see that 6 ride work his way through those guys. He wants to see Farnham, Danny White, and Crider kind of hold that 6 ride up, keep him back there at bay, continue to try to slow him down out there on the racetrack. And for Underwood, he knows he just needs to get around these guys as quickly as possible, needs to make some moves, needs to get around these guys if he wants to have a shot and try to work his way back to the front of the field. He needs to do it here in a quick fashion, knowing that he's got a super fast car, he's got a good hot rod, he has a potential chance to win this race. After winning the first 2 stages, to throw it away with the bad pit stop there at the end of stage number 2 is definitely not the way you want to lose this one. So he's trying to work his way around Austin Farnham, Danny White, and Crider as they continue to battle here for position number 2. It almost seems like Crider is checking these guys up. Crider is kind of holding these guys up. Unfortunately, Danny White, and for the 119, every time they've had a run or an opportunity to get around them, they just haven't been able to pull it off, and they've been kind of just stuck here behind this 5 ride. And now that's tough news for them. It's great news for Landon Burbage, as Burbage now has an extra lap car there in the mix as he passes Scott Heinrichs. It puts him another lap down, but for the 2 ride, now has about a 1.6 second lead. Starting to build a pretty sizable advantage here between himself and the cars back behind him, and that's exactly what he wants. That's exactly what he needs to see here to try to win this race and keep all these guys back there at bay. It's now 1.7 seconds as Crider back there in tow, trying to hunt him down, but also trying to keep Danny White, Austin Farnham, and now that 6 rider, Brian Underwood, back there at bay. So some great racing, some great battles out there on the racetrack. Is down across the line, they click off lap 121 here this evening, and we inch closer and closer to seeing only about 75 laps left to go here in this race as we hit that lap 75 to go marker, the lap 125 here this evening. We're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So we get a couple more laps left here, then we will crank it up, give you guys the sights and sounds of the beautiful Lucas Oil Raceway Park here in Indianapolis, as the 2 rider Landon Burbage now with a 2.15 second lead, continue to stretch it out here. Crider continue to struggle. He continues to fall farther and farther back from the 2 ride, and it's just holding up Danny White, Farnham, and Underwood, as Underwood just really had nowhere to go here. Hasn't been able to even try to make a pass on that 119 of Farnham or Danny White. So his time is starting to run out here in a quick hurry, especially with this advantage that Landon Burbage is building, which is now over 3 seconds between himself and that 2 ride. So And this is great news for that 2 machine. And here comes another lap car. If he can try to move around this 10 machine of Corey Denson as quickly as possible, move Corey back there to where these guys have to try to run maybe a different lane, maybe slow them up even more. As here we go, we see Danny White trying to make another move around Crider. Unfortunately, just could not pull that run off. Could not get the drive out of corner number 2 that he needed to try to complete this pass. Here he comes down across the line here as there is lapped 125 and again falls back in line. Here comes Underwood down low looking for maybe a bit of a slide job lane, hoping that he can clear this 119, and he does. So it does look like Austin Farnham doing the smart move right there, knowing that the 6 ride's probably got a lot more speed than these guys. He actually rolls out of the throttle, allows the 6 of Brian Underwood to jump up into position number 4. As they continue to battle, they all continue to fall farther and farther back there at bay. It's almost a 3-second lead now for this 2 ride of Landon Burbage. So almost 3 seconds between himself and Josh Crider, and that's definitely good news here for that 2 ride. That's exactly what he wants to see, and for all the Burbage fans in the stands, last thing you want now is a caution flag as they're beating and banging back here for position number 2 on the racetrack. Danny White still trying to take it away from Josh Crider. Crider trying to hang on to it, but now look out. Danny White gets super loose right there, almost goes around. Luckily enough, he does catch it, keeps that 79 ride rolling, stays in about that 5th position, but that does move Brian Underwood now into position number 3 as Underwood in that 3rd spot. He'll look to go after this 5 ride of Josh Crider, knowing that if he can move around Crider, potentially he could try to hunt down our race leader, Landon Burbage. As Burbage just rolling, he's got that cruise control here, 3 seconds between himself and Josh Crider, and that's exactly what he wants to do, is have this big lead and hope that now Brian Underwood has been burning up his equipment. He's been making some big moves, he's been pulling some slide jumps and moving around the racetrack. If he's been burning up his equipment more than some of these other drivers, potentially that opens up the door here that, even if he does take over position number 2, that he cannot hunt down that 2 ride here late in this run, as this has been probably our best run of the day. I do believe about 30 laps of green flag racing now since we went back to green flag battle in here, and we do have 70 laps left in this race. It'll be 69, our favorite number here. 69 laps left to go as the 2 ride of Landon Burbage down across the line, and we will jump into our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers here this evening as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, without a doubt, the Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution flag will fly. Yellow flag will come out, as I do believe we're going to see Gregory Tumbleston go for a bit of a spill here. Let's take a look here at the 98 ride. So let's take a look at him here. Rolling the bottom lane. Has had a rough go here this evening, and looks like he just gets loose. Hitting that apron right there. The Boeing ride goes around, makes contact with the inside wall. Comes to a stop here. Not on the racing surface, so no caution flag instantly for the 98 ride. But as he gets rolling back out onto the racetrack, iRacing does throw that yellow flag, so the caution flag will be displayed, and that will make it kind of game time decision here. A lot of drivers electing to either come down pit road or stay out here. We do see all of our leaders come down pit road. We did see a lot of other cars also down pit sign, so things are getting a little broken up here with the pit strategies, but we do see Landon Burbage, Underwood, Crider, Danny White, all these guys head down pit road, and now this really has to beg the question on whether or not potentially these guys are good on fuel. Are they good on fuel? Can they make it the end of this race? And now, obviously, with Landon Burbage, he also loses that big 3-second lead that he had between himself and Brian Underwood. Underwood, who was in position number 2, will now get a chance to restart here or potentially even take the race lead away with a big pit stop. It doesn't look like he can beat the 2 right off pit lane, but I do believe we see Ben Gleason potentially take the race lead here. I'm not sure how this is going to get scored, as pit road was open. We did see about 7 or 8 cars come down pit road first. Next time around, we saw the next 7 or 8 cars come down pit side. So things are a little bit broken up here on where drivers came down pit road or didn't come down pit road. So we'll have to wait and see where iRacing kind of scores everybody, where everyone kind of gets slotted into, and see how this kind of all gets played out, as I do believe Ryan Haller back here did go a lap down. I'm not sure how that happened for Haller, but somehow or another he is a lap down now out on the racetrack. We'll have to wait and see where iRacing scores the 77 and how it may get fixed here this evening, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go to Green Flag Racing, as you get to see all the webcams there for all of our amazing drivers. You see Josh Crider, you see Austin Farnham, Mr. Jonathan Gaston, we see Landon Burbage and Brian Underwood back in there. I do believe that's Melvin Brangruer in there as well with our driver webcams. Kind of really get to see, what they see in the, in the session, what they need to do, where they need to roll here to try to put themselves into a good position here this evening, as, take a look here, see if we can get something else rolling. I don't know if that's going to fix that. I don't know why it shows the white screen for main director. Nonetheless, here we go, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, getting ready to go back to battle. It does look like Ben Gleason will stay as the race leader here, as I do believe the iRacing pace truck will make the hard left-hand turn back down pit side, and we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Can Landon jump up and take this race lead back away from the 66, or can Gleason, getting blessed here with a good pit stop, work himself back into the picture and back into the hunt here for the race win? Is down through the Geico restart zone. Here we go. 66, the 2 ride pretty even right there as they head down across the line. We'll see if that 2 machine can find a big run here to the outside lane, as here comes that number 51 as well, Wyatt Mickelson, right here into the mix. Mickelson on the outside of that 6 ride, trying to work his way into position number 3 on the speedway, still door to door, but has that preferred line as there's contact back there behind him. Look out, they're stacking up here on the front straightaway. Oh brother, they're all piling into it now. Danny White, the 119 of Farnham, the 41 ride of Mr. Devin Baker getting collected there. I do believe we saw Josh Crider getting kind of started with this one, so let's take a look. So Crider kind of down low here. Gonna roll down and onto the throttle. Unfortunately, just loses the rear end right there. Rear end steps out on him, slides up, tail tags the 79 right of Danny White. That's just getting them all stacked up. The 79 bounces back off the 5 right, down and across the nose here of the 119, and that's just where they get kind of stacked up. Nowhere to go. Melvin Brangruer hard contact into it. You do see the 77 hard contact into the 119. The 98 right in there. The 55 with some contact. The 41 right goes around, makes contact with the inside fence, trying to avoid it. The 76 ride Mr. Farrell Robbins, he gets a piece of it as well as he drives into his Old Dogs Racing teammate there. As a lot of drivers, again, getting tore up here. A lot of contact, a lot of damage, as unfortunately right here it kind of just gets started between the 79 and the 5 ride. Tough restart here on a tough racetrack, and that's how quickly things can go wrong. Heavy contact there for 77, heavy contact for the 119, 79, 41. A lot of drivers getting tore up there, as we will get a caution flag. We will get another opportunity for drivers to try to figure out what they need to do, where they need to be, and how they need to handle another restart here. Only about 50 laps of racing left to go in this one, man. 50 laps left here this evening, as we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here in just a couple more moments. Take a listen to our new song here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League.
Engines roar, the night ignites, rubber burns under neon lights, chrome shining, stars align, dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow, pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke, lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt, raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room.
Alrighty, back to Green Flag Racing and back to our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. So again, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as here we go back to battle from Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park. As down through the Geico restart zone, Landon Burbage with a great restart, looking to try to keep these drivers back there at bay as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Yellow flag, back it on the racetrack. Another caution flag will fly as contact here for Gregory Tumbleston once again in this 68 machine. Let's take a look at it. Battling tough back here. Mid-pack, and it looks like just out of corner number 4. Sure, he may get a little help right here. Looks like Corey Denson may get into his back end, may not, as he's a little bit sideways, not too much, but there is contact right there. 10 ride gets into him, clips that Boeing ride, and unfortunately, just like Boeing, comes to a crashing stop there on the straightaway. Unfortunately, hard contact into that inside fence. Big hit, big contact there for that Boeing machine. That one may be game over there. Once again, another wall that is not a safer barrier here at IRP. Unfortunately, man, it can tear up a lot of stuff when you hit that concrete, man. It is not forgiving as much as the safer barriers that you see on the corners. You can see the pink stuff here up and into the, corners 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can get a good look at right there, that pink stuff right there. Safer barrier really takes the contact, really makes the wall move a little bit there, where when you run into it, you kind of bounce off of it, and it's not quite necessarily a huge impact because it absorbs the impact impact of you hitting that wall. So unfortunately, when you hit the inside fence or the straightaways here, it is nothing but concrete. No safer barriers other than these corners, and unfortunately, big hit right there for the 98 ride, and for what was already a tough night for him, just going to get even tougher. That may take him down pit side and completely out of this race. As here we go, we'll get them all ready to rock and roll again. Another restart here as Landon Burbage hangs on to the race lead. He will elect to use the outside lane once again. Ben Glees will be down to his inside. Brian Underwood there in third. Wyatt Mickelson rolls in fourth. Jonathan Gaston in position number 5 with Josh Crider back in 6. Melvin Brangroer, Alan Martin, Devin Baker, Jordan Crider are top 10 out there on the speedway. Danny White, Ryan Haller back there in 12th, getting the lucky dog back on the lead lap. Great break there for Ryan Haller. Corey Denson there in 13th. Farrell Robinson 14th. Scott Heinrich's Austin Farnham done and out of this race. Gregory Wood Sr. scored back there in 17th for Gregory Tumbleston. Even with the damage still rolling out there, I'm not sure how long that car will survive, but he's continuing to battle here as Nathan Brookover and Kyle Shepard are both also out of this race. As we'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to go back to green flag racing here. We're rolling towards about 41 laps left to go here when we go back to green flag racing. Another quick little short break here for our Crank It Up before we get ready to call the rest of this race, the rest of this amazing finish here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers getting ready to duke it out again here this evening. Is down and out of corner number 4. Landon Burbage getting ready for another big restart. Here we go, back to battle. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, again, crank up that volume and cheer them on. Alrighty, caution flag will fly again here. I believe that is the Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up curse here happening this evening. So we are probably going to put the Crank It Up away here this evening as another caution flag, another couple of big hits up there on the racetrack as another yellow flag here. We saw a lot of cars bouncing around there as it starts kind of with the 19 ride here of Melvin Brangroer. So Brangroer in the 55 battling hard. They're going to make no contact here. Gets a little loose and then down into corner number 1. I'm not sure if the 55 just loses it right there. If a little netcode maybe knocks him loose, all of a sudden it just drives the 19 right kind of into him. Let's see if we can get another look at it right there. Yeah, maybe a little netcode as the 19 ends up into the door panel, the 55, and they all just start to stack up here. Here comes the 41 heavy hit there for Baker. Heavy hit for 79 right at Danny White. That busts his right front. He washes back up the track into the 55 right. They're all still trying to get pointed back in the right direction for the 41 and 19. They're still just trying to keep on rolling through it for the 41. Drives back into the 55. 55 gets into the 19. Here comes the 41. Washes down the racetrack, and everyone else back here behind them is just trying to get checked up, trying to avoid it. Luckily enough for the 33 and the 67, able to avoid any additional contact and carnage right there. See if we can play this back. See if we can jump on board, maybe with the 33 ride as he gets a great look at this, a great perspective of the contact and the damage out there on the racetrack. Let's jump on board here with Crider as he tries to slide through this one. So sees the contact, sees all this happening, gets checked up, really pretty much on the binders there. But they're still wrecking, still able to just cut his way through there. Luckily enough, checked up enough to avoid any major contact there for himself. So here we go. We'll get him stacked up, racked up, ready to try to go back to green flag racing once again.
engines roar, the night ignites. Rubber burns under neon lights. Chrome shining, stars align. Dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow. Pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke. Lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels. Heat from the asphalt, raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds. Grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal. Victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms. The checkered flag, it seals the room. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels. Heat from the asphalt, raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds. Grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal. Victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms. The checkered flag, it seals the room.
Alrighty, chat, we are back. We are ready to go back to battle here after what was another caution flag out there on the racetrack. Another issue here on another restart. I had to go pee there real quick as unfortunately our crank it ups weren't that long, so we never really got a good chance to run to the bathroom there quickly, so we had to take our chances there when we needed to here in this one. As Anna says, you need a potty chair beside your computer. Laugh my ass off. Oh gosh. And no thank you, no thank you. My bathroom's not that far away. Okay, I can take the minute or two to go pee. Okay, as let's take a look back here. We did see there during the action that Gregory Woods Sr. in the 13 ride kind of loses the car at corner number 2. Let's take another look at it, see what happens here to that 13 ride as he cuts down the racetrack, tries to look for a big run here, and unfortunately just loses the rear end. Comes down the racetrack, hard contact into that concrete barrier on the inside of the infield. Luckily enough, doesn't take out any mobile homes, but unfortunately does destroy that ride, and it looks like his night may be over here now, as we did see Melvin Brenger did get a black flag. We'll have to wait and see how that gets cleared here, as unfortunately scored back at about the 12th position. Scott Heinrich is still rolling out there. It looks like Danny White's down and out of this race. Same with the 55 ride of Allen. Austin Fardham also done and out of this race. Gregory Woods Sr. is down pit side, but looks like his night is probably going to be over. I do believe Gregory Tumbleston also out of the race. So we started with 20 drivers. I do believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers or so that are no longer rolling out there on the racetrack. So about 13 cars left in this fight. Scored back in 13th is Scott Heinrich's. Devin Baker back there in 12th. Melvin Brenger now into 11th. They are lapped down. Farrell Robbins, I do believe, just getting the lucky dog back onto the lead lap. Still has a bit of damage on this 76. Probably quite a bit of damage for the 76, but back on the lead lap. Scored there in that 10th position. So that's a great break there for him. And Landon Bourbon Burbage still has the race lead here. Another restart coming up with now only 29 laps left to go here in this race. It's Chris Getz. What's good, Chris? Chris Getz in the chat says, let's go, and no luck Motorsports cheering on that 66 ride of Ben Gleason. As Gleason has been right up here in the fight pretty much all night long. Just hasn't been able to get these restarts figured out to be able to really compete or contend with that 2-ride of Landon Burbage. And now we do see Brian Underwood right down to his inside. Underwood trying to move himself forward here as the 51 getting a little squirrely right there. Hang on to it. Wyatt Mickelson trying to stay in position number 4 out there on the racetrack. Is here we go. You see Underwood down low trying to make this pass, hoping to see some good green flag laps here to give himself a chance and an opportunity, and there it is. He slides up in front of that Ford Mustang, moves that 6-ride back up into second, but here comes the 66 right back into the battle to make a little bit of contact. Here comes the 51 ride. Wyatt Mickelson runs it right up against the outside fence. You see the sparks flying off the 51 as Mickelson looks to take over position number 2. So Mickelson does jump up into that second spot on the racetrack. Unfortunately for Ben Gleason, slides back into position number 4. Now has that 5-ride of Josh Crider trying to work to his outside. Here comes the 72 of Jonathan Gaston. Jordan Crider there in 7th. Ryan Haller back in 8th. Corey Denson there in 9th. And Farrell Robbins rounding out our top 10 here is Melvin Brenger down pit road, serving a penalty here for his black flag. Looks like the black flag has gone away. We'll see if we get this 19 ride rolling back out there on the racetrack or if he'll just keep it down pit road. As out in front, Landon Burbage loves to see this battling back here for position number 2. Again, it's allowing him to open up quite a bit of a lead between himself and Underwood, and that's exactly what he wants. He wants Underwood to have to burn up his equipment, trying to work his way around these guys, and obviously having to try to, figure out a way to regain all that track position as the 6th ride finally does move into position number 2. So Underwood about 1.1 seconds between himself and Landon Burbage. Is it enough for him to try to hunt down this number 2 ride? It's down across the line. There is still 24 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. So 24 more laps left in this race. Does Landon Burbage have what it takes to try to keep that 6th ride of Underwood back there at bay? Or can Underwood hunt him down and try to take that win away? As you do see Jonathan Gaston making some big moves down the inside here. The 72 ride going to get bounced around. Oh, look out. There goes Gaston. Caution flag back out on the racetrack. Caution flag back out here. Gaston really just pushing his luck here, trying to get that car to hang on to the inside lane. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite pay off for him, as he was able to move around the 66 of Ben Gleason. But now for that Bourbon Hills Barbecue Toyota Camry right here, slideways right there, has to correct it. Unfortunately, washes up the racetrack, bounces off the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. As he hits the 51, it just shoots this car down the racetrack. And for G-Man, feeling a lot of G-force right here as he heads down the racetrack and ends up making pretty good save right there. I thought he was going to make contact with that inside fence. Luckily enough, no major contact. They were able to get that car stopped before hitting the inside wall. And for the Gaston's iRacing Graphics number 72, we'll continue to battle here this evening. No major contact, no major damage. Just a little burnt up tires there and losing a ton of track position. Hopefully not too much damage for that 51 right of Wyatt Mickelson, as well as Mickelson has been battling hard here up at the front of the field in prime position to try to earn a solid podium here this evening, as we did see Gaston head down pit side. We did see Farrell Robbins also down pit road, so he's getting his car worked on. Looks like he's getting a set of tires put onto this car as well. We'll see if Gaston, looks like Gaston putting some tires on as well here. So actually kind of surprising. I figured we would have saw maybe a couple takers when we look at Haller, Corey Denson, maybe that number 33 of Jordan Crider, or even the 5 right of Josh Crider, who rolls in that 5th position. With not a whole lot of cars on the lead lap here, potentially coming down pit road, making that pit stop, maybe giving an extra set of fresh tires here onto your race car, able to make some moves, maybe racing your way up to the front of the field here, especially if we see another good green flag run. Could be the winning move, as the 41 of Devin Baker gets back onto the lead lap. So Baker now back onto the lead lap. That gives 11 drivers still in the fight here this evening on the lead lap, as he still got quite a bit of damage on that 41 right. I'm not sure how quick he's going to be with that damage, but we'll have to wait and see what the 41 right can do here this evening. And Scott Heinrich is also down pit side. Unfortunately for Scott, he is still about 6 laps down, 5 laps down, something like that. So a tough spot for him to be in. Now Melvin Brengerer, after serving the black flag and coming down pit road, has not rejoined this race. So it looks like his night is also over here for the 19 ride. Scored back in the 13th position, means that we've had 8 drivers unfortunately eliminated from this race. So 8 drivers are down and out of this one. At least one of them still multiple laps down there with Scott Heinrich's, but for everybody else, still 11 drivers is very much in this fight, very much still within striking distance to win this race, especially if things get a little bit jumbled up on a restart. We see contact, we see rubbing and scrubbing. It's anybody's game here late in this one. And now for Wyatt Mickelson, tough spot to be as he's going to have to restart there on the inside lane in behind our second place driver Brian Underwood. As here we go, Landon Burbage going to get ready for another good restart here, trying to keep that 6th ride back at bay. Going to have to try to play a little bit of a strategy game here on what he wants to do, when he wants to roll back onto the throttle to try to catch this 6th ride. Sleeping a little bit right there, fires early, gets the launch he was looking for, opens up that lead, clears that 6th ride. Now he's got to try to hold him off as Landon Burbage out in front, trying to beat Brian Underwood here this evening. We do see Mickelson able to slide up in front of Ben Gleason, so Gleason stays in position number 4. The 51 ride right back into the action as here we go. Brian Underwood looking underneath the 2 ride. Underwood won the first 2 stages of this race, has shown that he's got a lot of speed out of this 6th ride. A bad pit stop at the end of stage number 2 kind of shuffled him back into about the 8th position, and has just been trying to rebound ever since then. Slowly but surely has worked his way now into that 2nd spot, but now he knows he's in striking distance. He's got a golden opportunity right here to try to jump back in front and win this race. As Dylan Carrier coming in. Dylan Carrier Syntography says, let's go. Landon cheering on Landon here this evening as we do see Landon tag the outside fence right there on the back straightaway. Now the 6th rank kind of washes up, slides in front of him, and here we go. Underwood back out in front, but the crossover out of the 2 ride. Landon Burbage says, I'm not done yet. I want this race lead. I want this race win. With only 15 laps left to go, it is on like Donkey Kong here at the front of the field as these drivers put on an absolutely amazing show for us here this evening. Another good look here inside the cockpits of the 6 and that 2 ride as the caution flag comes back out. And Landon Burbage happy there. You see the smile on his face. He knows that he was gifted the race lead again here. So again, he will be the control car for the restart. The 6th ride of Underwood, unfortunately, will be back in 2nd. He'll have to try late in this race to make another move to try to win this race and steal it away from that 2 ride. Here we go. Decision time. Landon Burbage comes down pit road. Bold move here for that number 2. Not a lot of takers. Is this the winning strategy? We're going to have to wait and find out. You see a little shake of the head there from Landon. He thought more drivers were going to come with them. That is going to be tough for him to try to navigate his way through some of this traffic, as we did see Corey Denson also come down pit road. Jordan Crider also down pit side. Jonathan Gaston came back down pit road. So potentially some late race tires going on to these cars. And Landon Burbage gives up the race lead, gives up that track position to take tires as he rolls back out onto the racetrack here, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be scored in that 8th position, meaning that he's going to have to try to navigate his way around 7 other cars here late in this race to work his way up towards the front. And now we did see Farrell Robbins and Devin Baker come down pit road there on lap 79, lap 80. So they don't have a whole lot of time there on their tires as well. So virtually, he's got a little bit better tires than they do, but not the track position that they have this late in the race. Did he just give this win to Brian Underwood? Did that just put Underwood into the winning circle here this evening as he stays out on the racetrack? But now he's got Wyatt Mickelson, Ben Gleason, Josh Crider right there, Ryan Holler now inside the top 5. This is going to get interesting, chat. This is going to get very, very interesting. It's going to be very fun to see what these drivers can do. Landon going to be having to try to work his way back up through the traffic. Underwood going to have to try to hold all these guys back there at bay as Dylan says, no, Landon, what are you doing? Yeah, That's a bold move. That's a bold strategy right there. Now, potentially, if we see some contact, some beating and banging here up in front of him, if he can avoid getting tied up in any of the contact and damage and potentially other caution flags, he may be able to gain a couple positions from that. And as tires continue to fall off for some of these other drivers, maybe it opens up the door for him to move forward here. I'm just not sure how much that's going to help him. I don't know if he's going to have enough time, enough car, enough tire to be able to make a difference to get back to where he wants, to be able to take that race lead away from this sixth ride. It's going to take him a while to try to navigate his way through some of the cars in front of him here. It's going to be a tough one for Landon to try to come back from, man. That was a major, major potential mistake out of that 2 machine. As here we go, back to green flag racing, as it will be 10 laps left to go here. As we see the green flag come back out. 10 laps left to go down across the line, and for Brian Underwood, for the first time, takes the inside lane here on the restart. So gives up on the outside lane for the restarts, but it doesn't matter. Able to get a great launch, a great restart, able to stay in the top spot, quickly opens up a bit of a lead between himself and the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. So Mickelson sits there in second as Josh Crider slides up into position number 3. Ben Gleason slides back to 4th. There's Haller rounding out our top 5 in the 2 ride of Landon Burbage, slinging that thing around the corners, trying to find as much speed and as much power that he can in this 2 ride, trying to navigate his way back to the front of the field. He'll slide up in front of the 76, now score back in that 6th position, trying to work his way around the 77 ride, knowing that if you can get back into the top 5, at least maybe salvage a little bit of something here, hopefully catch a caution flag and reel in our race leader that much quicker, but he's kind of stuck right there behind the 77. Can't quite find the run he was looking for down the front straightaway, but down through quarter 1 and 2, able to get a big run and takes position number 5 away from Haller. Now here comes Gaston. Gaston down low. He'll slide up in front of the 77 as well. So for Gaston, he moves up, and there is some contact. Around goes the 76 of Farrell Robbins, and the caution flag does come out. So a late race caution flag. Now that may help or hurt the 2 ride here. I'm not too certain on what it will do, because that's just going to bring us closer to the checkered flag. Shorten the run, shorten the green flag laps, but for Landon Burbage, it will shorten the gap here and bring the rest of our top 4 right to his front bumper here for another restart. So let's take a look back at it, as we did see some issues here for the 76 of Farrell Robbins in the 10 ride of Corey Denson. Denson in the SSR ride, the only one left out there on the racetrack, and it looks like he's just going to drive in there. 76 comes down the racetrack, maybe a little neck code. Nonetheless, there's contact, gets into that left rear quarter panel, and unfortunately, there goes the 76 ride around. They need to make more contact here, but as that 76 ride does get sideways and virtually pointed the wrong direction on the racetrack, iRacing, our official up there on the flag stand, sees it happening, able to quickly throw that caution flag and put us under the yellow here again this evening. So another late race caution flag, and now we do see Ryan Haller head down pit side. So Haller, who had just fell outside of the top 5, he heads down pit road. He's looking to get some fresh tires onto his race car. We do see Devin Baker also back down pit road. So Haller going from I believe in the 7th position, now back into what will be probably 10th or 11th as he rolls back out onto the racetrack. Should be scored about that 10th spot on the speedway for the 77 ride. You'll have freshest tires out there on the racetrack, but we saw how quickly, really, Landon Burbage and Gaston got through there, man. It's not that quick. You can't really make passes all too fast here. So, for the 77 ride, maybe he can get back up into that 7th, 6th position. Maybe that'll help him out for Landon Burbage. I mean, it's still kind of an unknown here on whether or not that late race pit stop on lap 187 is going to help him or hurt him. If we see more caution flags, maybe a little bit of NASCAR overtime here this evening, maybe it brings fuel mileage into the game plan here tonight in this one, because we did last see Brian Underwood and the 51 of Mickelson, Crider, Gleason, they were all last down pit road around lap 142. So for those drivers, maybe fuel becomes an issue with a couple green-white checkers, maybe not, as Dylan says Landon might have a chance now. He might have a chance now. I don't know. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. This late in the race, not a lot of laps left to go unless you can catch a couple caution flags with making a couple passes during each of those runs. Maybe he can gain it. Maybe he can get get back there to within striking distance for a late race restart. But as we go back to green flag racing, it will be a green-white checkered. It is not NASCAR overtime, but it will be 2 laps left to go. So we will see the green flag, the next flag out. If it's the white flag, the next one will end this race. But if we see the caution flag come back out before the white flag flies, then that means we will head to NASCAR overtime and another attempt at a green-white checkered here this evening. So for Brian Underwood, you just need to have another big restart, another perfect restart, trying to keep Mickelson, Gleason, Crider, all these guys back there at bay, and hope that you have enough gap and enough cars between yourself and that 2 of Landon, Burbage, and Gaston that you can hold them all back there at bay. It's down through the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Big restart right there for that 6 ride. Underwood, another perfect restart, able to clear the 51, and now here comes that 5 ride of Crider. Crider looking to try to clear the 51 machine of Mickelson for position number 2, as there is contact back there behind him. No caution flag as of yet. Landon Burbage trying to stay in front of that number 66 of Gleason. No caution flag. Will keep it clean and green. The white flag is out. No caution flag, as we did see Haller and Barker make contact. No yellow flag as Brian Underwood sees the white flag fly one more time around here, as Mickelson does steal position number 2 away from Crider. Is down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. The back-to-back champion here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League will find the checkered flag here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park here this evening. Brian Underwood gets it done and picks up the win. That last lap, not only his quickest lap of this race, but the quickest lap out of anybody here this evening. No one has ran a better lap time than what the 6 ride did on the final lap here this evening, even on almost 60 lap old tires. Able to run that lap and just blow the doors off everybody and put himself up and into victory lane. A much deserving win there for that 6 ride. Wyatt Mickelson comes home in second, and Josh Crider rounds out our top 3 here this evening, as Brian gets to celebrate, gets to party hard here this evening as he picks up the dub here today, man. Pumped up, excited, picking up a win, knows that he's now locked in for another attempt to run for the championship, trying to be maybe a 3-time champion here, 3 championships in a row for that 6 ride. Maybe this league is too easy for Brian Underwood. We'll have to ask him. Alrighty, as we'll get ready to pull Underwood and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. Let's see if we can get them up and into here. Where are they at? We'll wait for them to jump in there. There we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Brian Underwood. Is Mr. Haller in the chat as well says so mad at how that ended. Yeah, brother, we'll have to take a look back and see how that did end for you, because that was definitely going to be a top 10 for you there in that one. So let's pull in Mr. Underwood right now. Hey, Brian, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Brian, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through that one. Obviously winning the first 2 stages of the day. This car was absolutely hooked up. It looked like it was your race to lose until all of a sudden that stage 2 pit stop, you lose about 7 spots out there on the racetrack, and all of a sudden you kind of get stuck back there. You're kind of put into a tough position trying to navigate your way through some of this traffic, and then all of a sudden you just start picking them off one at a time. You battle yourself up there into the top 5, up and into 4th, and then we start to see some of these yellow flags. You're able to navigate yourself around Crider. You're finally able to get around, I do believe, the 119 ride of Farnham there, and the 66 of Ben Gleason, and it puts you into second. And for a few restarts there, trying to work yourself to the front of the field, trying to work yourself into that top spot. Obviously, the outside lane kind of paying dividends with you sucked down the bottom lane. You could just never get a good enough run to try to go after that 2 ride until one of these final restarts. You finally get the restart you were looking for. You battle there with him. You do take the race lead back away. He's able to beat you back down across the line, though, as another yellow flag comes out. So it gives him the race lead once again, in Landon likes to come down pit road here late in the race. I'm not sure what the strategy call was there for the 2 ride, what the plan was there. I don't know if he was short on fuel or what the question mark may have been for the 2 ride to make that move down pit side, as it virtually just gifted you the race win here this evening, man. Take us back through it and what's going through your mind.
Yeah, overall I felt pretty good about the race. I love short track racing. just something that always seems to click with me. Um, I did put up a not terribly a lot of practice, but a good amount, and I felt good with my speed. Usually that's my number one concern is speed, and actually tires were more of my concern this week. Couldn't seem to save the right front at all, and I was struggling a lot in practice with that. Yeah, the first two stages I was just fortunate enough, just have good restarts and just make sure I don't abuse my stuff early and just hold the pace steady. And then when stage two hit there, I went to check my fuel box, make sure I had enough fuel, and some reason it stopped me longer to add whatever it added, and that's why I lost all those spots. And then after that, I knew there was still 100 laps to go to gain the valuable points, and just took my time, make the passes where I felt pretty decent when it come to passing cars compared to a lot of people. A lot of people seem to have a little hard time passing. It's just very tricky at this track, and just landing. I mean, we were probably thinking the same thing as like we're at a point where does tires matter with 14 to go or around there. So I was thinking about it, but then again, I didn't want to get behind um, anybody else towards the back. Seemed like they were having a few problems with, getting loose and all that. So just trying to stay out of the mess. And just fortunately, I was able to click it off.
Yeah, absolutely. All those late race yellow flags, and obviously issues for drivers deeper there in the field, really just kept giving these restarts. And you were able to really use the outside lane there for a long time and a lot of restarts here this evening to get those big jumps. And then all of a sudden, late in this race, you elect to start moving down to the inside lane. What was the theory there? Did you just feel like you were getting better launches down on the inside lane later on the evening? Or what was kind of going through your mind there on those lane selections?
Yeah, I just some of it depended on. I felt it didn't matter which lane you were in. It was basically who I didn't want to have a shot or somebody I know that might, dive it in too deep. And towards the end there, I was trying to pick the opposite lane that Landon was in to try to slow him down as much as possible. And I felt good running that seam towards the middle there, so I felt confident if somebody was on the outside going into the turn, I'd be able to clear him as long as I executed well enough. But that's what I decided that for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it works out perfectly for you as it puts you up here into victory lane and locked into the playoffs now, and giving yourself another opportunity, obviously, now with some good stage points here on the day as well. Lots of bonus points to go into the playoffs for what could be another attempt at another championship and trying to win 3 in a row here for that sixth ride. Man, what does it mean to be able to lock yourself into the playoffs here again this season?
Yeah, I mean, like every season, right? Playoffs. That's when I want to win. Um, I've had a lot more success early in the season, which is great. Just keeping the consistency and collect as many points as possible. Got a good amount of talent in the league, so I mean, you always got to keep your guard up. More points that you have going into playoffs, the less they have. So there's always that view at it. And yeah, I mean, it's great to make the playoffs and really just keep adding on points and consistency and going to the playoffs strong.
Absolutely. Going into the playoffs strong and looking good, doing it as well as that sixth ride back up in victory lane. Burning down the house here at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park. Brian, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, I mean, I got put give a big shout out to you for putting on the show every week. Definitely enjoy going back. I don't get a chance every week, but they're always pretty entertaining, especially short tracks. And I have to say, I came across that clip at Daytona when you made that high pitch. That still catches me. So you do an amazing job. And then just saw the admin group, Josh and Gleason. We had a change up throughout the week or last week, and we've adapted, and it's tend to looks like it's went really well. We got a bunch of new guys, so I appreciate everybody that's raced tonight. And then all the sponsors with Lonnie and the Rollin Wieners with um, and just everybody brings the show together. It's fun. That's why we're here Saturday nights to have fun.
Absolutely, brother. That's what it's all about. Having fun, enjoying your time on the sim, and it's always that much more fun, that much more interesting when you're able to find yourself up and into victory lane. Brian, congratulations on the win here this evening, brother. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe back up here into the booth with the Wheel to Wheel Racing League. If not, maybe we'll see you right back up here next Saturday.
Yeah, possible. I'm not sure where they run, but all possible.
All possible, brother, and that's what we look forward to seeing. As here we go, Brian. Congrats on a great run, great race here this evening. Congrats on the win, and as I said, hopefully we'll see you right back up here very soon.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Brian Underwood hiding in there behind a steering wheel in the webcam, but Underwood with a heck of a run, heck of a drive here in this one. As Austin says, it's like that every week, nothing new. We were getting ran over as JBR, still getting ran over as SSR. Yeah, tough one here tonight. I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, I don't know. I saw you guys obviously getting contact there or running into a few issues out there, obviously just having contact with other drivers, but I also saw a lot of SSR rides making contact with other drivers as well, causing some of the carnage out there on the racetrack themselves. So, it goes both ways, man. I mean, nobody's perfect out there, and it's all about having fun. It's all about having a good time, and hopefully just trying to survive some of the mayhem, man. There's a lot of guys out there that unfortunately did not avoid the mayhem here this evening. That is short track racing at its finest, as there's a lot of cars, almost more cars out of this race than in this race later on this evening, as we'll get them all stacked up, and we'll get ready to pull in our second place driver here as the number 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. Heck of a run here for Mickelson, coming home in position number 2. We'll get ready to pull Wyatt up here into the broadcast booth after a solid run, solid drive there for the 51 machine. Hey, Wyatt, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. Wyatt, man, heck of a run, heck of a drive for you here in this one, as you're able to come home in position number 2, man. A lot of contact, a lot of issues out there for almost everybody here this evening, and somehow or another late in this race, you were able to battle up there inside the top 3, top 4, and put yourself up here into the podium this evening.
Yeah. I started kind of in the middle of the pack, and just didn't qualify, and wanted to see how the race was going to progress in that first stage. And car just handled great in traffic. That top lane was really good, and just kind of diamond in it. And yeah, it was really, really quick, and a lot of close racing. And but yeah, it was a good run. Got some good stage points in stage 1. Came a little short in stage 2, and finished it up strong. I was kind of hoping in the last stage it was going to just go all the way green so we can get some green flag pit stops, but that did not happen. So, but it's all good. Finished good, so can't complain about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you can get up here, have a post-race interview, knowing that you're able to get a solid finish on the day is always a good thing. And this is a tough race, man. Tough race, tough racetrack. Obviously, that short track feel, and a little bit high-speed short track racing, almost kind of like Bristol without the banking. And obviously, we saw a lot of the fireworks and everything else kind of pop off here tonight, man. Take us through, probably some of the voice comms, some of the chat here this evening, as I know there was probably a lot of, upset drivers with how just the night was going.
Yeah, there's some upset drivers, but I mean that's short track, especially being a flat track, because it's very, very loose, especially on exit. And so I made one mistake, kind of overdrove it, and so I apologize to one of the SSR teammates or team drivers. So I'll be reaching out to him, apologizing to him. But yeah, that's just kind of short track racing, and everyone's kind of just trying to dive it in there, trying to get a run. And but yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, so.
Absolutely. Definitely goes that way sometimes, and sometimes it just still ends up going your way as you're able to come home in second, park that 51 right up here on the podium. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
I'd like to thank Josh and Brian and Ben for putting on the league, and you for putting on the broadcast. You always do a great job, and always love looking back at the races. And yeah, just thank you for everything.
Absolutely, brother. It's always our pleasure to be up here in the booth to watch you guys duke it out, watch you guys battle, and, compete here each and every single race. And now hopefully we get to see you back in action tomorrow night, as I know you and Haller always look good and always go to battle there in the Sunday night series. So hopefully we'll see you guys both back up there and battling for maybe another podium, maybe another win here tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, that one's going to be a lot of fun. Talladega, so that one's... especially being a playoff race, so that one's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night, Wyatt, and congratulations on the second place finish.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Wyatt Mickelson as he comes home in position number 2 here this evening. Solid run, solid drive there for him. I don't know who Bubba J is, but you are a fucking moron, man. You are a fucking idiot, brother. SSR caused like fucking 8 fucking caution flags here today, man. I don't know who you think you are in my chat talking shit or trying to cause shit, man. That is the dumbest fucking move you could do, buddy, because you guys are absolute dog water, okay? SSR, more like USSR, fucking crashing everywhere out there on the racetrack. Yeah, you guys got ran over a couple times. Yeah, you guys gained contact. You guys just also couldn't figure out what a fucking brake pedal was either today. Could ya? You definitely couldn't. Just driving in there, just driving into other cars. Fuck, you guys are so stupid, man. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, trying to argue that. Bet, bro. Bubba, whoever the fuck you are, you can get the fuck out of here. That is for certain. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're an idiot. You're an absolute loser. You and your team were a fucking skid mark. You are a fucking tire iron out there on the racetrack tonight. You guys couldn't stop putting yourselves into bad situations, whether it was driving into other drivers or just holding onto the throttle while there was 3 cars spun out in front of you and driving right into it. Hell, there was twice you guys wrecked each other, your own teammates you ran into and wrecked here tonight. So don't start any fucking thing, because you guys know that you were fucking retarded here tonight. Okay? Take a look. Okay, this one here, hey, nowhere to go. It happens, nowhere to go. Nothing you can do. Oh, tough break there for the 119, obviously. Nothing he could do right there. Wrong place, wrong time. That's racing. That's racing, brother. That's what happens in racing. And look what you are doing. Yeah, look at what I'm doing. I'm fucking getting paid to do a broadcast. I'm getting paid to sit on my ass and do nothing, dipshit. I get paid to be here. I get paid to be here. You get paid to do fucking nothing except for suck on your mama's tit, okay? That's all you get paid to do, you fucking moron. You are so stupid. Who is Peacemaker? I'm the fucking man. That's who I am. That's who I am, brother. Fuck these SSR guys, man. They are fucking stupid if they don't think they didn't cause like 8 fucking caution flags here tonight, man. That is absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely wild. Hey, let's take a look at this one. Here we go. Here's a great perspective of it. 115 SSR. Let's take a look. Let's take a little watch here. Watch these two. Oh, there's the 115. Is that an SSR car slamming into another SSR car? Wow. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Crazy. Crazy. But no, it's everyone else's fault that they got ran over tonight. It's everyone else's fault that they can hold the line, but everyone else can't. Oh, well, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy that everyone else except for them can't hold a line here. Apparently they're the only good drivers out there, but yet here they are. Ooh, look at me. Can't hold the line. Nice and easy. Bam. Oh, I'll slam right into my teammate. Put him into the fence. Uh-oh. There he goes. See ya. Goodbye. Uh-oh. Tough break. Tough break. Okay, let's take another look at another one here. Here's the 67 ride. Let's take a look. 67. What happens here? What happens here? Oh, the 67. Oh. Car on the outside. Doesn't stop. Driving forwards here, drives right up the racetrack across the nose, and here comes the 115, another SSR car. How long did you have to get onto the binders? How long did you have to get checked up to avoid running into the back end of the two cars tied together in the outside fence in front of you? Here we go. You got a clear shot of it. Clear look. Look at the cars parked there in the outside groove. You got this thing called a brake pedal. Can't get stopped. Can't check up. And here he comes right into the back of his SSR teammate right there. Congratulations, you back marker pieces of shit, man. Fucking load up your rides, head to the next series, and fuck off. That is absolutely retarded, man. You guys are so stupid to think that everyone else is the problem and not you guys, man. That is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, well, after that, and getting those idiots out of there, let's bring in our third-place finisher, the 5 ride of Mr. Crider. As Crider comes home in position number 5, let's pull Josh in here for his post-race interview. Hey, Joshua, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I'm here.
Joshua, man, great run, great drive here this evening, man. Up inside the top 5 all night long, making some moves. Almost stole that second spot away from Wyatt here late in the race, man. Take us back through what's going through your mind right now as you finish out our podium.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't pressuring Wyatt. I was good where I was. I'm sad that you didn't put my camera up like Brian. I know you like seeing his bald spots, but my camera's not up there. And
I'll get your camera up.
I had the biggest smile on my face. I am so happy. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will be something glad and rejoicing, or something like that. It's something like that. I don't know. Jameis Winston said it one time.
Perfect. Hey, that's all it's about, man. Lord, praise the Lord. Praise a good run and a good drive. Is Crider happy? He's pumped up to be up here, and obviously putting Jimmy 7 times here into a good podium run, man. Take us back through it. What's going through your mind?
I tell you what, I got my redemption tonight, for sure. It's been a rough season, and I made a dumb mistake at Daytona and made myself look like an idiot, and that was absolutely unacceptable. And then Brian mentioned in his interview that we had some changes this week, and it has been great. It has been just so chill, and I have had such a good time this week and met a lot of new good drivers, and they're just great people, and I am just so happy to be alive.
Hey, brother, that's all you can really say right there, man. Happy to be here. Happy to have you up in the broadcast booth, man, and absolutely happy to see you have another good run, another solid race, and parking that 5 ride here in 30. Inching closer to trying to put yourself back up into victory lane. I know for a long time you and Brian have been, working together, been teaming together, and obviously here tonight he's able to pull off the win, man. When can we expect to see this 5 ride back up in victory lane?
Probably about the time when you calm down. I heard you were on fire there for a little bit. It could be.
Those SSR guys can fuck right off.
We're going to my favorite track next week at Iowa. So I won a championship there in season 2. Here, let's just bring this out.
Whew, there it is.
I know it says season 2. We're in season 6, but I got a championship trophy, and a lot of people can't say that, right? So, love this thing. And, I am just so happy to be a part of Premium Stock Car Racing League and what we have going, and all the great people we have that are associated with it. I want to say hi to Uncle Lonnie. I want to say congratulations to Ricky Thornton Jr. on winning the World 100 tonight at Eldora. He's a Dolphins fan, and football season kicks off, tomorrow officially. America wins when the Dallas Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs lose.
I can agree with that.
It's been perfect so far. Now all we need is the Dolphins to beat the Colts tomorrow and put Brian in his spot. But
Well,
I wanna
Indianapolis, not a great team, so I don't think that's going to be too tough for Tua to get it done.
well, Tua doesn't even know what state he's in, but regardless. I just want to say that I am so thankful for our sponsors. Lonnie, Kirsten with Rollin Wieners, Ethan and Garrett at home. If you're still up, go to bed. Everybody that makes this happen. We could not do it without you. And if you're watching this and you're committed, like, we've got Brian and Anna that watch every single week, with Landon and those guys. It's just, I am so happy to be a part of the Premium Stock Car Racing League. We are the best freaking culture and the best league out there, and we have people show up for our races, and I like that.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Watching the chat move, watching everyone in here, just cheering you guys on and enjoying some great racing action week in every single week, man, is absolutely always one of my favorite things to do. And we can't wait to see you guys back in action here again next Saturday, as you guys will look to duke it out again and see if you can try to put yourself back up here for another solid podium run, man, and another, makeout session with your trophy.
Yeah, I freaking love this trophy. Thank you to TrophySmack.com for providing us these trophies at a heavily discounted price. Use code PSCRL and you can get a trophy just like this. I also want to say that we have some very exciting sponsorship news coming this week from a championship standard. It's going to be very exciting. Hopefully there's no poaching with that. We love Premium Stock Car Racing League, and we love people like Melvin and Ryan and Alan and Wyatt and Brian. These guys, Ben helping out with the league. I know that I sound like Matthew Wood kind of rambling on right now, but I don't get to get up here very often lately, so I'm going to take my time. It's 11:41. I need to cut you loose. I pay you.
It's all
for the
good,
race.
brother.
It's
all good, brother.
I just like talking to you, Aaron. You're a good, swell guy.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I try to be, brother. I always try to be, that's for certain. As Josh, hell of a run, hell of a drive, man. We can't wait to see you guys back in action next Saturday, and hopefully maybe next weekend we'll see you up here in Victory Lane.
You very well freaking could see me in Victory Lane next week, because I love Iowa.
Perfect,
the corn
brother.
grows there. It's a beautiful track. I haven't ran there since the repave, though, so I don't know what to expect there. But this is a beautiful trophy that I won for winning the championship, in case you didn't hear that.
I did hear that. Well, Josh, enjoy the rest of your night, brother, and congrats not only on winning that trophy, but coming home third here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say hi to the haters as well. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Absolutely, brother. All right, have a good one, brother. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Mr. Josh Crider. As Crider comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that number 3 machine here today, man. What a drive, what a performance there for Mr. Crider. Heck of a run in performance by pretty much all these drivers here this evening, man. A lot of great drivers, a lot of fast cats here tonight. Putting on a heck of a show for us, heck of a run, as Mr. Underwood says, let's flip that around. No, it's definitely the 5 and 11 Colts here, okay? Daniel Jones, okay? There's no way that Danny gets it done. Danny Dimes does not get it done. He is not going to be – he's going to throw it to the ghost of Harrison and Wayne and win. Maybe if that happens, if we got a ghost appearance, maybe potentially that'll happen, but I don't know if I see that one coming, man. I see Tua not knowing which state he's in, probably beating you guys, unfortunately. I think it's going to be a bit of a tough year for the Colts here again, man. I'd rather almost throw Joe Flacco back into QB than I would have in Daniel Jones in there, brother. Come on now. There ain't no way. Well, hey, listen. Philadelphia Eagles first game, rough game, obviously. Jalen Carter getting kicked out in the first 10 seconds, and then obviously, just trying to, deal with injuries there. Obviously, Landon Dickerson having some issues, and then obviously, just trying to battle through it. In first game, it's a tough game for everybody, and we're just getting our legs underneath of us. And last season's champions there, Philadelphia Eagles, looking strong here to start the season, hoping to try to go back-to-back, man. We got to hope that the Eagles can get it done, man. And obviously, yeah, as Josh said, America always wins when the Cowboys, the Cowgirls, and the Kansas City Chiefs all lose and do not win on their opening games of the season, man. That's always a beautiful thing to see, and hopefully it's more to come there for Dallas and Kansas City. Hopefully a lot more losses as well. I wouldn't mind seeing both those teams go 5-11 as well as the Colts. I'm just kidding. I don't mind the Colts, but I don't know. They don't have enough weapons there, and I don't trust Daniel Jones enough to give them anywhere close to a winning record. I mean, maybe 9-8 if they get lucky, if they can click. Maybe they go 9-8, but I feel like they're probably more or less going to be that 5-11, maybe 6-10 team. Unfortunately, not a playoff team, not this year at least, until they try to get some better picks, some better players potentially, and maybe a better QB to replace Daniel Jones, because, well, obviously we saw what he could do there in New York, and after getting a big payday from New York, man, he did not last much longer. As he says, yeah, I know, I'm not expecting nothing. Yeah, definitely not the year that I'd be expecting big things out of the Colts, that's for certain. It's tough to see, but yeah, I don't trust Danny Dimes that much, man. You can't, I definitely wouldn't be putting the house on him. He's definitely gonna be a rough year for that guy. That's for certain. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here throughout the evening, man. Some absolutely amazing racing action, some absolutely amazing performances by each and every one of these drivers here this evening. And if you're an SSR guy and you want to see more receipts, we got them. We'll keep them saved so that way you guys can come back and see where you guys made mistakes out there on the racetrack, because you're not perfect, just like everybody else. But, to come in and talk shit about everyone else and think that you're all high and mighty, definitely a good way to find yourself an exit door on the broadcast, and you don't like it? Too fucking bad, because it's my stream, and it's what I do, and it's what I say, and it's what goes for me, brother, and that's all I care about. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, everyone with the likes, the comments, the shares, we appreciate each and every single one of you. Any of the new followers, any of the new subscribers over on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here today. And we'll see you guys back up here. We'll be back in the booth twice tomorrow. We are back in action for 2 broadcasts tomorrow evening, as we'll get a couple great shows going for you, and you guys can enjoy a couple great feature events and some more racing action tomorrow afternoon. So thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Engines roar, the night ignites, rubber burns under neon lights, chrome shining, stars align, dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow, pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke, lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels, heat from the asphalt raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds, grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal, victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms, the checkered flag, it seals the room. engines roar, the night ignites. Rubber burns under neon lights. Chrome shining, stars align. Dreams hit the track, now it's grind time. Wrapped tight, tailpipes glow. Pit stop precision, gotta keep that flow. Crowds a jungle, hearts in the choke. Lap by lap, adrenaline spoke. Speed kings, chasing that checkered crown. Under the moon, we don't slow down. Saturday nights, we ride, we fly. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels. Heat from the asphalt, raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds. Grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal. Victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms. The checkered flag, it seals the room. Premium league, we touch the sky. Pedal to metal, no brakes in sight. Racing forever in the glowing night. V8 screaming, thunder on wheels. Heat from the asphalt, raw and real. Tracks a snake, it twists and winds. Grip the wheel, leave fear behind. Spotlights dance, tires squeal. Victory's close, you can almost feel. Pulse is wild, the finish looms. The checkered flag, it seals the room.